and here's where we're going to create a new account. So you would sign up for free and go through the steps to create your account. You're going to click on create a new test and it'll take you to this screen. It'll ask you always what type of test you'd like to run. In this class we will only be doing Nav Flow tests. So you don't even have to worry about the click test or the 5-second test because we're just going to be focusing on Nav Flow tests. Nav Flow tests are ideal for testing multi-step navigational flows, which is what you will be creating with all of your B assignments. So you will have to upload multiple wires for each test and then create a flow between them. So think of your navigational flow before you begin to upload your files, and think of where you want the user to end up. Like, what is the goal of your test? So you're already going to have your wires exported, your artboards exported from Illustrator, and your wireframes complete. You want them numbered sequentially so you know what order the navigational flow is going to be in, and you won't be confused as what the steps are to complete whatever process you are guiding your user to complete. So I want you to think of the navigational flow that will help the user reach the last frame of your wires and make that the goal of your usability test. With this sign-up form in particular, this will directly translate into the conversion rate and get the visitors of your site to become actual members. So we create these Usability Hub tests to test your workflow and make sure that your design can be navigated very intuitively. So as you come up with your instructions for your test, make your instructions more than one step just to be sure that they're very clear and concise, and try not to lead the user too much. So don't tell them exactly what to press. For example, don't say, click submit or click next and then click submit. It would be much better to say something like complete the sign-up process. So we're going to upload our wires and then create our hotspots. So here we are in our new Nav Flow test, and we're going to create our hotspots. So let me upload a file first, and we're going to just start at the beginning. Good thing we've got them numbered. And as it processes, you're going to think about the many places where your users are going to click when you're creating your test. And then we're going to drag boxes around the areas we want to register as successful clicks. So for example, your user might click this create account button, or they might click this text field. So technically both would be correct. However, you would click right here, perhaps you would drag a box right over there, and you would drag a box right over there. Those will all register as successful clicks. However, you want to refrain from just dragging the box over the entire screen, because that will make the whole thing a successful click and it'll show up in your results, and so you're not going to receive any credit for that. So you want to include as many hotspots. You can just click on that box to remove it. So you want to include as many hotspots as are applicable to increase the chances of your users finishing your tests so you can get accurate results of your conversion rates. You'll just click I'm done when you're finished with that. And then you go to upload the next image. So we'll pick this one, and it will process. We'll click edit hit zones, or it'll just open up automatically, and we will click, well, that one's already filled out, so actually I don't really need it, and that one's already filled out too. So getting very specific, all we need to do is hit create account, which will take us to the next screen. So we'll do a final example here. Click on that, okay. And these are good defaults, so we're going to want to click there, perhaps this one, perhaps even this one, this drop-down menu, and then but definitely the next button will get us to the next screen. And that's our navigational flow. we are flowing, our funnel is taking us from create account to create the account to go next. So we're becoming a World Surf Nomad, and then we're going to go on to step 2, and then we'd go all the way through to step 4. And then the final thing we're going to do is write the instructions in the test instruction section. So again, you don't want to be super specific, but you do want to describe the funnel or your navigational flow between your wires. So for example, I would say complete the sign up process. And for this, that would be enough, and the user would understand that there's a step-by-step navigational flow, step 1, step 2, step 3, because of my sequence map, and that my buttons would be active. Here I would enter the valid email address. Here's my error message that comes up right here, and then I'm allowed to go on to the next step. So once that's done, we're going to name the test, and we'll name it sign up. And we'll save our changes. Excellent. It's going to be a public test. I'll need 10 responses. Next step. And then you can preview it first or publish it. We'll just publish it. And then this is the link for you to share. This is very important. So this is the link that you want to use for the public to see the test. So you can put this on your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn or Google+, all to get results. Your test results, the link that's appropriate, here's where your results show up, and we'll be able to tell there'll be different little green and red hits and misses depending on where the people click. And this all the way at the bottom, so you have to scroll to get the test results link, which needs to be on the landing page. You'll have to scroll to the bottom and then copy this link here, or you can just click copy link, link copy to clipboard. Beautiful. So now it's time to upload our usability tests to our landing page. So I'm going to go back to this link right here, copy it out. Excellent. I'm going to go to my landing page, and I'm just going to fill in my link. So that's my test 1. And now I go back and I go over to test results, and remember it's at the bottom, so we'll wait for that to load. And then right at the bottom we're going to copy the link to the results. Beautiful. And we're going to place that right here in our test results. We'll save that, and then I'll go ahead and preview the file once again. And now this link should be live, and it'll take me to this Nav Flow test. So now you understand how to use Usability Hub and create your own Nav Flow test, and I wish you the best of luck with this course.